We must be bound to one another then, bound by hell-forged chains and fate-haunted circumstance. Well then, let it be thus so, and men will have cause to tremble and flee when they hear the names of Elric of Melniboné and Stormbringer, his sword. We are two of a kind, produced by an age which has deserted us. Let us give this age cause to hate us. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host, Liam, aka Himbar, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of Michael Moorcock's The Weird of the White Wolf. The Weird of the White Wolf is a 1977 novel in the fourth in the Elric series. If you're reading in the current bind-up, it's also the fourth one I've read. If you have the old DAW release, it is the third one in that series. Now, this one starts off a little differently. I will come out and say that I don't believe it is as good as Sailor on the Seas of Fate, but it is still rather good, and still, well, something you should read, in my opinion. This one actually starts off with a prologue of sorts, not about Elric, but about Ulbec of Malador, who goes to the ghoulish land of Canaloon to serve law and bring down Melniboné, which this is rather a good prologue as it sets the stage for what to come, because this is definitely more less weird adventure like the last book, and more well, how do I put this, genocidal type of tendency that happened kind of at the end of the Fortress of the Pearl. Now, this does have some slight spoilers, especially for book 1, Elric of Melniboné, but not really for the other ones. But this is, well, Elric returns to Melniboné in this one, returns to Dreaming City, returns to Irkun and Cymril, and others, of course. And so in some ways this is a sequel to the first book. But by ill fate, Elric does some pretty evil things. And it's also, of course, tragic, and of course also melancholy. Now, part 2 is set a year later, and Elric is even more fatalistic and doom-sealed, and edgy and sad than ever. He knows he is, well, doomed, but doesn't know exactly what that doom is. And now, instead of a strong desire for justice like he had in some of the previous books, he more so craves for peace. Definitely this weird multiverse of chaos and drugs and odd realities and fears and other things of the mind are definitely showcased here more. This is, I think, what it seems like Moorcock is good at, and definitely, again, this just sealed after reading Sailor and the Seas of Fate that I need to read more of Moorcock, and definitely will be finishing Elric, which was something I wasn't quite sure of after the first just 2 books. Now, it's pretty interesting, there are things like kennings actually in this book, and this one also seemed more sexual. There is some more sexual content in this one than I feel like there was in the previous ones. And also, just so you're aware, in Jakor, Elric has the sobriquet of the White Wolf, which makes sense since he's very white-skinned and has white hair as well. So this, and weird, of course, means fate, right? So this is his story about Elric's fate. And also the alliteration of Weird of the White Wolf is something I really like. But we also get some extra characters in this one that are pretty interesting. Besides seeing Irkun and Cymril again, we do get characters like Moonglum for the first time, I believe. And he is definitely an interesting character. I believe he's a favorite among some fans. We also have Sharilla, who is, well, also interesting. Very melancholy, actually, like Elric's. Very interesting. Different kind of melancholy, different kind of doom, so to speak, over her head. That is very interesting to contrast with Elric. But if you like your fantasy of 1970s and psychedelic, but also dealing with psychology, then Elric is definitely the way to go. He's definitely an interesting sword and sorcery hero, as he is definitely more of an anti-hero, and very thoughtful in one, and also in the sense that he is not the traditional sword and sorcery hero, because he is not very strong. He is actually weak, right? At this point, he no longer has his medicines, but uses the soul-drinking Stormbringer to survive instead, even though he doesn't want to. He's trying to get away from that, but as you read in this, it doesn't really work very well. Anyways, this has been Liam's Lyceum. I hope you enjoyed watching this review, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.